J.D. Campbell's house burned down at the end of No Good Deed, though it's never explicitly stated how this happened. Throughout the series, this character, played by Luke Wilson, was desperate not to lose his wife, whom he felt was one of the final good things in his life. However, J.D. had to learn the hard way that Margot, Linda Cardellini, wasn't who he thought she was. Still, it seems he managed to get his own revenge in No Good Deed. Netflix's dark comedy series follows Paul and Lydia Morgan, Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow, as they put their Los Angeles home on the market. As they do this, however, their biggest secrets threaten to burst at the seams, especially as various couples compete to buy the Morgans' home. J.D. and Margot were among those offering bids, but they lost their shot when their own dark secrets were revealed. As it turns out, Margot had been having an affair with the Morgans' teenage son, Jacob, and murdered the boy to keep it covered up. When J.D. found out, he may have taken justice into his own hands. No Good Deed implies that J.D. set his house on fire to kill Margot. J.D. drove away looking pretty happy with himself. J.D.'s house burning down in No Good Deed. No Good Deed never shows J.D. lighting his house on fire. Instead, Margot is shown reminiscing about murdering Jacob in the tub as the house fills up with smoke, and J.D. is seen driving away, looking rather pleased with himself. This certainly implies that this was an intentional act of arson on his part. Just before this scene, Margot demands that J.D. give her the house since he no longer has any money for her to take from him. Initially, J.D. said that she could have it over his dead body, but it seems he changed his mind. Instead, he let her have a burned-down house with the intention of her own dead body being trapped inside. What happens to J.D. and Margot in No Good Deed? Burning down his house was J.D.'s best decision. Margot with a burned face in No Good Deed. Though it seems that J.D. had every intention of Margot dying in the house, the ending of No Good Deed reveals that she survived, though with extensive burned scars across her face. Her final scene in the Netflix series placed her in a bar, where she attempted to flirt with a man who turned out to be Paul and Lydia's police officer nephew. He mentions that Margot, whom he called by her real name, Luann, would be going to prison, likely for Jacob's murder. Of course, she had done enough other illegal things that she certainly could have been locked up for just about anything. On the other hand, J.D. got a much happier ending in No Good Deed. Throughout the series, he had been trying to land work, but his reputation had been damaged by a mental breakdown he had on set. Regardless, he caught a break and landed a role on some kind of Western project, think Yellowstone. It turns out that being free of Margot and committing a little arson was precisely what J.D. needed. It's assumed that J.D.'s finances were right back on track and that he would have bought a new house. It's a win-win, especially since J.D. hated the other home in No Good Deed anyway.